While the verbal exchange between Philippine senators and Chinese embassy officials intensifies following persona non grata declarations. More details in this report from mobile journalist Mary Monreyes.
Ba't namin sila papakinggan? Sino ba sila? We know they're, as a matter of fact, sana naisip din po nila na they're visitors here in our country.
Senate Foreign Relations Committee Chair Erwin Tulfo did not mince words with responding to recent jabs from the Chinese embassy. Beijing's diplomats in Manila plainly rejected the upper chamber's resolution, condemning the attacks of Chinese officials against their Filipino counterparts. Tulfo insisted the Chinese embassy must respect Philippine laws. He added, it is the prerogative of senators to speak freely and air their stance on issues besetting the country, including disputes involving the West Philippine Sea.
Siguro kailangan nilang balikan yung Vienna Convention of 1961 na if you are a visitor here, a diplomat, dapat po respetuhin yung mga batas ng host country. Walang pwedeng magsabi sa atin na bansa na bawal tayo magpahayag na nararamdaman natin, bawal tayo magsalita.
Tulfo also took to the defense of PCG spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea, Commodore J. Taliela. He believes the Coast Guard official has the right to speak up, especially since he is one of the defenders of Philippine territory.
It's not malicious. The way I look at it, I mean, the person, the government official, is just expressing in the ika nga, because he is covered, his statements actually is covered by our Constitution, the freedom of expression, the freedom of speech. Siguro kung diplomat po siya, doon po siya sa China, medyo iba hong kalakaran doon, iba ho siguro. Pero since sila po sa Philippine Coast Guard siya po ay isa sa mga nagtatanggol, yung kanyang ahensya, nagtatanggol ng ating teritoryo. So I guess may karapatan siya magsalita. Because nagsasalita po siya doon. So ano po nakikita.
At this point, Tulfo is leaving the matter's resolution to the Department of Foreign Affairs. Still, he makes it crystal clear, no Filipino should be denied free speech and right inside their own country yet. For Senate President Tito Soto, it seems like Chinese embassy spokesperson Ji Lingpen wanted to silence the August chamber by calling senators hypocrites and ignorant, and all because they took a stand. Soto also blasted G's claims that Chinese diplomats are being intimidated while continuing to be disrespectful to senators, calling their resolution a mere political stunt. The Senate President says it's again, respect begets respect. For her part, Senator Risa Hontiveros said she and her colleagues will keep on using lawful instruments, including resolutions, to put everything on record. She invokes Filipino lawmakers' constitutional duty to do so, even if it means a million statements against their moves. For Senator Kiko Pangilinan, the Chinese embassy's boorish response to an official act of the Philippine Senate is in violation of the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations. He said it only proves that China is a bully and lacks respect for international law. To the DFA, he says, ensure that the Philippine Republic's dignity is upheld and that its relations with other states are in accordance with international law and principles. Former Supreme Court Senior Associate Justice Antonio Carpio has a word of caution though.
Those who take their oath of office, they say they will defend the Philippine Constitution. And in the Philippine Constitution, the territory is there. So if you are a government official, you should be careful because you have taken an oath to defend the Constitution.
Meanwhile, Kalayaan, Palawan Mayor Bert Del Mundo reacted to the Chinese embassies declaring him and 15 other local officials persona non grata.
Wala din po akong plano talaga, hindi minsan na magpaplano na mag-isita sa kanilang teritoryo. Kasunod ay hindi ko actually ako mahilig mag-travel. Mas gusto yung pagmamasyal sa Pilipinas.
China's sanction came after the Kalayaan Island Group's LGU declared Chinese Ambassador Jing Shuen persona non grata back in January. Chinese Ambassador Jing Shuen acknowledges false narratives and sparks of confrontations as talks of cooperation between China and the Philippines progress. At a Chinese New Year reception in Taguig, also attended by First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos, Jing said there's nothing that could not be settled by dialogue.
We cannot allow those misinformation to mislead the public or undermine bilateral relations. You know, one may easily win a confrontation with a smaller neighbor, but you hurt your relations with the neighbor for a long time. So nobody want to resort to force. Nobody want to fight with each other. That hurt our relationship for a long time. So that's why Chinese side always advocates dialogue. Let's sit down, let's talk, find ways to manage differences.
Kapatid mobile journalist Mary Monreyes, we are One News.